Let me see. Are we streaming? Are we streaming? I think we're streaming. Are we streaming? I do not see. Oh, there we are. Hi. Okay, so there's a little bit of a delay. Let me pull up my other screen. Hi, how are you? It's been a while. My life has been super crazy. And as you know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, especially my live streams, I am a big proponent of just record whenever you're able to, jump on whenever you're able to. Some people are super consistent. I haven't found that space yet, but I still want to come on. I've literally had my laptop open and the live streaming ready to go for many, many hours. And I keep getting pulled away, and there's a ton of other things that I have to do. And here comes a child. Oh, no, he's not, he's going somewhere else. Okay. So this particular video, I wanted to reach out to you because you may know that I have a digital course available through snottybodies.com. We're not fat, we're bloated, and how to fix it fast. That is one of the digital courses. I'm putting the finishing touches on that course right now. But I'm about to launch another digital course. I've got a pretty good outline, and I just really have to go through and record it. It's probably going to be a few hours as well, and you can break it up into chunks. But what it is about is my journey. I think my journey can help you. This is when it comes to raising your kids, no matter where you are, whether you're about to have children or you're pregnant or you have a newborn or a toddler or a school-age kid, a teenager, or somewhere in there. I was lucky enough to stumble upon a bunch of amazing resources. I just really, of all of the things in life and all the struggles I've had, one of the things that I have done well is either I research so much until I find the quality contents, or I'm truly just lucky and I attract it. I kind of think that's what it is. Like when I'm out in the wilderness, I attract wildlife. I think it's the same kind of thing. I attract those very high vibrational, high value resources, and some of these resources have just come to me through other people. One of the best resources I ever learned about was from my grandmother. Gave my sister a book. My sister wasn't at all interested, and I saw it. I was like, ooh. And it has been a game changer for my children their whole lives since they were infants. And then a couple of the resources I share actually came out when my older son was just born. And so it was just a timing thing. And then other things we've discovered along the way, someone else in my network, I will mention him in the digital course, give him some love. And he turned me on to other people who have digital content and books that I was able to tap into their wealth of knowledge. And all of these things that I'm going to share with you in the digital course, and I don't even know what it's going to be called yet, but it's something about raising very empowered and actualized adults. We're not raising children, we're raising adults. So, of course, it's important to give them a childhood as much as humanly possible. If you know me at all, you know that I really struggled and sacrificed to be able to stay home and homeschool my kids. I'm a single mom, never got child support, and always have worked from home. Even before COVID, there was no such thing as remote work. So I just really sacrificed a lot of the comforts we could have had if I went to work and got a great 9-to-5 career situation, or married someone who was the breadwinner. That just kind of wasn't in my cards. And I've always wanted to do things my way. And I've always been criticized for doing things my way. But now we're on the heels of one of my son's childhoods. He's not a child anymore. He's 19, and he's just shoved off to go play baseball and study finance at Penn State. How did we do it? And again, part of it was luck and timing. But the other thing is positioning him so he knew what he wanted to study, so that he also was available to be scouted. How do you position your children to do what they love? How do you even know? How do you figure out and discover what they love? What are their passions? These are the things that not only for me did I, hey, stop chewing on the bone for a second, please. The dogs always want to chew on those bones as soon as I jump on and do a video. So I was able to really find who I am as a person. My original passions I found when I was a child, and I'll explain how I did that. And it's sort of the same thing, the foundation that I gave to my children and then some, right? I've researched what makes Olympians great. What's the common thread among Olympian athletes? What is it that makes them such high achievers? And I took that. All these other resources really just come together, and it's like, I want to say maybe less than 10. This isn't going to be some incredibly drawn out, extensive thing. It is actually quite simple, and as you can imagine, being a single mom, working from home, no child support, this was all done on a shoestring. So yeah, I get it. There are some parents who can just throw money and give their children the education, life-enriching experiences, all the things they need. I couldn't do that. And there are some things I still haven't been able to do that I was given as a child that I think was very important for my upbringing. I grew up outside of Toledo, Ohio, and so we had an award-winning museum there with a symphony, and I was able to go and hear to this museum and then go and hear the symphony. And so as a child, I had a lot of different types of culture in my life. Well, I wasn't able to provide those experiences to my children to date, but the internet, they've been exposed to some stuff anyway, not really how I'd planned it. But it seems like the important things are covered. And those are the resources I give you. How to make your children just truly great at whatever capabilities they have. Now, here's the thing. You might think, well, your children, maybe I've got these really special kids. Well, it just so happens I do. But the resources that I found can be applied to absolutely 100% anyone, even if, and kind of especially if, hear me now, you have children with developmental disabilities. If you have cognitive or physical disabilities, you definitely need to jump on board with this, because some of the information I learned was specifically for children who have disabilities, serious ones too. And I have a background in working with severely multiply handicapped kids. Well, they're not really kids. They seem like kids when they live with their parents still, but hey, adults. Shadow, that's a hard no. No. So this is why it takes me a while to get around to doing videos, because there's always something going on. Anyway, so all of the experiences, and it's like my particular brand of energy has drawn in these resources for whatever reason. And now that I know they work, because my first son is off to college and starting his life successfully. Again, there are some of these things that I had nothing to do with, but a lot of them, they were on purpose and they work. So this digital course, I will announce when it comes out. I don't know exactly when that'll be, but telling you right now about it definitely motivates me to get it done a little bit faster, especially if you can like and comment, subscribe if you've never been on the channel before, because especially if you're a single parent, especially if you're homeschooling, especially if you're, oh my gosh, I totally get it. It's not exactly easy and streamlined, and people don't always consider how much it takes to raise kids and be the breadwinner and work from home and homeschool and the whole thing, and provide them extra to really help them discover and lead you to what it is they love to do, and how you can take all of those things that they discover along the way to the next level. And just because they might find something when they're young, it doesn't necessarily mean that's their thing. They can try things out and like things for a season and then get tired of it and maybe even come back to it later. But it seems like with most kids, if they're allowed to truly be who they are and they're in an enriching environment, which I lay out for you, how does this happen? Then they're going to find their way. They're going to find their passions, and it might be one, it might be three. I think most people have sort of a little variety of things they love to do. And what their ultimate goals are remains to be seen, but it's wonderful if they have a few. That's great, because then it gives them options and choices. And I'll also explain to you how I feel about picking and choosing a path. What does that exactly mean? I was always afraid to choose one path because I felt like I was sacrificing the others, and I just couldn't do that. And now, being as old as I am, I realize that my body of interests and passions actually represents a field, which is a media expert. Oh, I don't remember. I did a search for it and I found out, oh, that's what I am. And now it's on LinkedIn. So if you want to find out what that is, it's on LinkedIn, because I've done everything from professional photography to writing to, I have a certificate in 3-camera live video production in a TV studio. There's so many things that I've done. And it just seemed like I was all over the place, but actually it was one field in media production. I'm a creator. And so that's me. And my kids have some of those talents in different areas, but they have new ones that, just was never on my path or on my table. So it's not like I exposed them to things that I was into. They found their way through the methods that I discovered, through the resources that I will share with you specifically in the digital course. What should I call it? I have no idea. Give me some suggestions in the comments, because it can't really be called like how to raise empowered adults, because no one's online searching for how to raise an adult. It's how to educate children, raise children, how to raise happy children, and all of this other stuff. And it is all of that in a nutshell. How to homeschool on a shoestring and raise amazing kids that are happy and empowered and have a mission and purpose in life. I don't know. That's basically what it comes down to, though. And I really hope that you will check in and share your own stories as well, because it does take a village, and few of us even live in a village anymore. Most of us, so many of us, are scattered away from family and friends all over the country, and this is a systemic problem. One of the resources that I will share with you actually is a wealth of knowledge of how the school systems, the education systems, became what they are today. This is not an accident that just happened over the past decade. This has been a plan since the end of World War II to put us exactly where we are today in our education system and the kids that has produced and is producing over the past 10 to 20 years and more. As a Gen Xer, schools and the curriculum was declining, but I think I was in the last sweet spot where we were still able to be critical thinkers, and we were still able to have comedy and roast pretty much anybody, and no one really got offended. I've been offended and made fun of, but so has everybody else. There's no one that gets out of it without being made fun of. But now there's no comedy. You can't make a joke about anything. Everything is offensive. So I'm not sure if that was part of the plan, but they have planned the intentional dumbing down of Americans and America since the end of World War II. In the 1950s, they removed critical thinking class from the curriculum in school and stopped teaching what propaganda is and stopped including all of that stuff. And so now if you watch like YouTube videos of Gen Zs, they like just don't know a whole lot of the stuff that they need to know for critical thinking and discernment. Now a critical thinker is called a conspiracy theorist, which is actually a term that was invented by the CIA to make critical thinkers seem crazy to other people who just believe the propaganda without ever questioning it. So, not to get off on a tangent, but this is not exactly what my course is going to be about. My course is about What did I do to educate and raise my kids? The resources that I was blessed and lucky enough to have introduced into my life through the grace of God, or my pure luck of just being passionate, researching, and loving being a mom, and determined to do it myself. And I knew I was capable. And it doesn't matter if you're homeschooling or not. You still are the ones to teach your children right from wrong, to instill the values into your children's brains. Like I said, if anybody's going to brainwash my kids, it's going to be me. And even if you send your kids to school, you still debrief them, make sure you understand what they're being told in school, so that you can say, I understand what they're telling you in school. Now here's what's more true. Here's what we think. And that's really important to do, because you cannot just allow the school system or the internet or music to raise your kids. Like, why have kids if you aren't going to form and mold them yourself? So this is what I did. All of the different things, like I said, it's not an extensive list, but man, they are just such high value things. And I keep learning more. It's amazing how literally the universe continues to provide me with the highest value content and exposures that you could ever ask for. And now my 19-year-old has gone to school, and I know more and can do more and better and faster with my younger son, who's only just turned 13. So there's so much I have to share with you. Stay tuned for the announcement of when the course is available. Of course, if you'd like to know more about snottybodies.com, just visit snottybodies.com. It is based on my book, The Southern California Secret Diet Club, which was the first gluten-free guidebook. Snotty Bodies is not about gluten-free. It's so much more than that. I've learned so much more since 2004, although I've updated my book a few times all the way up until 2015. But there's so much more, and it's so much easier now. And there's maybe 5 key things that you need to do to just get rid of the bloat. And it comes off super fast, super fast. If you've read my book or done any kind of work like this, then you might know when you reduce inflammation out of your body, and there's a few simple ways to do it. And it's not about restricting your diet and not eating what you love. Trust me, some of the things you can still eat them. Many of the things you think you're not going to be able to eat are completely fine. A lot of the things they tell you not to eat, oh, don't eat white things. What? Don't eat white things? I mean, okay, yeah, if you eliminate everything white from your diet, you're probably going to lose a little bit of weight because you're cutting out carbs. But carbs aren't bad for you, and fat doesn't make you fat. Now, I will say, sugar is a 100% something to cut out for sure. I actually am thinking about redoing my digital course because I just watched it and I'm like, maybe I can get to the point a little bit faster. But there's a little bit of a mind shift that needs to happen. And so the first few lectures, I'm sort of like doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing and sort of helping to untrain your brain and dial you into a different possibility before I give you the actual dirt on how to lose the bloat fast. I'm like bloated today a little bit. I ate like literally DiGiorno pizza last night. I love pizza, and I get these pizzas for my son and he makes them, and I can't not have pizza. And I put the green Tabasco sauce. I think that pizza should be eaten with hot sauce. It just makes it so much better. But I'm like a little bloated today. But I did not used to know how to deal with this. I did not used to know how I could eat things that I love without having this bloat issue. And I knew I was going to bloat out a little bit last night, and so I took some steps to manage it. But there's other things that you can eat that are just as good that don't have the inflammatory ingredients in them. So I go through all of that. And that's really it. I just wanted to touch base with you and let you know that I have not disappeared off the face of the earth, although I am still waiting for that to happen. I'm like so ready. But I had to send my son off to school, and it's been kind of a a long, crazy couple of months here, and just keeping the business rolling and keeping everything going. So thanks for jumping on. And always, you can check out my other channel, which is Lake Tahoe Snow and Road Report. I don't even know the name of my own channels. It's something like that. I could link something, I guess, in the description, but it's like Lake Tahoe Snow and Road Report, I think. I had a little bit of trouble getting it off the ground because my dash cam was supposed to live stream and it never did. So I was trying a whole bunch of other things, and I hope I'm more prepared this winter because it's so beautiful. First of all, and it's not just about the winter time. It's so beautiful, but the videos, a lot of them are 360 VR videos. So you can literally put on your VR headset and be in the car with me and drive through Lake Tahoe and look around. It's so cool. So that is the business that I have. Actually, I'm able to do a lot of driving up in the mountains and around Tahoe, and that's where those videos come from. And also I have some driving tips. They're kind of a little bit sarcastic, but how to do a zipper lane and how to use a roundabout, and a couple of people who are just not very smart on the road I've posted, so as examples of what not to do. So those are my other channels, and I hope you guys are all doing really, really well. Summer's winding down. Enjoy your Labor Day. If I don't see you before then, hopefully I will. And that's it. Take real good care of yourselves and love your kiddos.